All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimension. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we dive into this chart, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware that I have a ticker symbol towards the end of this video you won't want to miss, and you definitely want to learn from this chart. There's a big learning experience with this one, so stay tuned for that. And I want to make everyone aware that I officially have the Patreon live and up and running, and the link is down below in the description. And by joining the Patreon, you'll join the private community where we're going to discuss way more than just stocks and so much more as I further develop it. But one of the main things you'll receive right now is early access to the ticker symbols that I talk about towards the end of these videos as soon as I start researching them or come across them or find value in them. So that's one of the biggest things right now, but there's so much more as I develop it. So the link is down below if you want to check it out and further support the channel. Now, we're going to talk about Nano Dimensions and ARK Invest position, but before we do that, I need to talk about this because an investor asked a very valid question, and I need to go ahead and share this information with you guys. I need you guys to be aware that, why is it that I do this? I've talked about it before, but I want to clarify it. So I got asked, hey man, be honest, do you get paid to throw new tickers, or are they really your due diligence? I went ahead and said, I do not make a single dime for anything that I share, brother. It is all my due diligence. I take the time to research and share every ticker symbol I mention. I in no way, shape, or form tell any viewer or an investor to buy, sell, or hold any positions in any of these stocks mentioned. I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions on stocks that may be overlooked. That is my true intentionality and looking for value and opportunities to share. Now, another investor jumps in and says, why this investor probably asked, because I was curious. I said, if I may ask, what made you think that? So they stated that other YouTubers are receiving emails from small market caps asking for paid promotions with these tickers, and that they saw other channels promoting it. So they're basically saying that other YouTubers are benefiting from this. When I saw small market cap, I did make it kind of a really strong statement, because I do want every single investor to be aware that the stocks I mentioned towards the end of the videos are rarely small cap. Excuse me, I was about to say small mac cap, but no, rarely small cap. So a lot of these stocks may fall into the category at some point of small cap, but I need to see some strong financials, a strong business platform that has proven potential. So it rarely, I always talk about mid cap and large cap. Yes, there might be some small cap, but because I see so much room and I compare them to the others in the sector. So that's something I do want every single investor to be aware of. And if you don't know what small cap really is, I think usually small cap is anything below $1 billion, or it reaches up to $1 billion or $2 billion. Anything above that starts becoming mid cap and then large cap. So I rarely talk about small cap companies. And if I ever did, I would have to disclose it to every investor so they're aware. But I'm all about transparency and honesty, and I do want every single investor to be aware that my integrity is worth more than $1, okay? So rarely would you ever see that type of behavior here on my channel, talking about stocks that are being paid promotions or anything like that. And if I ever came across that, I need to believe in the company and I will make everyone aware. But I don't think I see myself in that position. As of right now, I don't, and I don't think I'll see myself anytime soon or even in the future doing such a thing. But then I get a response from the original investor, and they basically stated, it's cool that, investors want to get their money, or YouTubers. That's what we're all here at the end. I was just wondering, because in every video you have a new ticker, but hey, if it's all your job, then I have nothing but respect for you, brother. I just want to go ahead and say I have respect for you, brother, and I have respect for every single investor and viewer that comes across this channel and watches my videos. I want you guys to know that. So I went ahead and told them I have a Patreon, and you guys will gain early access to these ticker symbols I discuss, and what attracted me to that individual stock. And if you guys want to know how I obtain a new ticker symbol every day, that's something I'm going to discuss on the Patreon as well. So if you want to learn more about that, you can find that there on the Patreon. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful for the feedback and recognizing my efforts, right? But I do want you guys to know that I do it all for you guys, the investors and viewers. Every single chart analysis, I do it for you guys. Every single ticker symbol I mentioned towards the end of the video, I do it for you guys, okay? The investors and viewers. Yes, I'm doing my due diligence, but sometimes I can't be in every ticker symbol. So just because I talk about a ticker symbol does not mean I have a position in it or was able to, because I don't have enough leverage to be everywhere. But I am here to share opportunities because I may have already found an opportunity that may not, I'm not saying it may be late, but it may not be the best opportunity if I'm seeing better opportunities somewhere else. So because I don't have the leverage doesn't mean I can't share it, and I won't share it, and I'm going to take that away from you guys. I want to give opportunities to you guys as well. So anything that I see opportunity in, I may not have enough leverage to get in it, but I'm not going to take that away from you guys to share it with you guys. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. So here we are. Nano dimensions. Let's go ahead and see our new resistance and support based off the chart's movement and the 50-day moving average. But let's see how ARK Invest positioned themselves from yesterday to today. So this was the 16th, right? Yesterday. Today's the 17th. They had 7,265,057 shares. Today, they have 7,351,657 shares. So when you go ahead and do the math there, they went up by almost 100,000 there. It was about 90,000. Now, ARKW yesterday on the 16th, ARKW, Nano Dimensions, 6,058,036 shares, right? And ARKW today, the 17th, ARKW, 6,124,300 shares. So when you look at the difference, they went up by 70,000 shares here. So they're loading up. They're taking advantage of this offering, right? I mean, even if they didn't want it or did want it, they've already been in it this far. Why not load up on more? And they're definitely making the bold statement that there's more room here. And the offering closes tomorrow, and we have not gotten very close to $12. The closest that it's gotten is $13 and some change. It's been recovering upwards, pulled back pretty fast, and it's sitting at around $14.64. So some interesting stuff here. So the 50-day moving average is $14.71. That needs to be broken through to end up back in bullish territory. We're slightly in bearish territory. So what is our support? Our support is $14.25. If that gets broken through, we want to watch this carefully. How quickly is it moving to newer lows? Or are the bulls trying to reappear to bring this one back up? Super important to watch and see how it's reacting. Now, our resistance that the bulls definitely want to break through, which is the highest point in this momentum before falling back down, is 1537. The bulls want to break through that and need to break through that. I do want every single investor to be aware of that. But the first, more zoomed in resistance level above the 50-day moving average that can show us some momentum in the upward direction and the bulls gaining some leverage, or it could be the start of it, is 1483. So that definitely needs to be crossed to then get to the next resistance level. So definitely keep that in mind. This needs to be turned into a support so the bulls can work up to newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned to the end because I have a great learning experience to share with you guys when it comes to a ticker symbol to add to your watch list. So for everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is one that I talked about a few weeks ago. We touched base on it one more time as it was moving. It had already moved up like $10. I wanted to let more investors be aware of it, and it was a learning experience at that time. Now, I want to go ahead and touch base on it one more time so that us as investors, we focus in on the raw data, the charts, the business model, financials, and the company's structure, right? So I wanted everyone to not look at this one from an emotional perspective and just focus in on the data, the information, and everything that this company had to offer and the potential, moving forward. And also thinking about, the pullback that it had. Was it going to be temporary? Was this actually something to, consider adding to your watch list and so forth? So we touched base on it twice. Now, I just want to touch base on it one more time because once I looked at it, I had actually kind of left it alone and I was just, leaving it in the back end. Didn't want to worry too much about it, but man, I have to mention it. So the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys have probably heard me talk about it already before, and it's almost going to seem like a broken record, okay? And I just want every single investor to learn from this and to see the value in the stocks that we're picking here, that we're looking at, and why I'm telling you guys to add it to your watch list. I also want to announce one more time for anybody that kind of missed it or overlooked it, I have a Patreon now. The link is going to be down below. You will gain access to these stocks that I'm looking at way before they're even mentioned here, as soon as I start analyzing them and putting them on my watch list, right? Because I usually look for a pullback and seeing if there's a consolidation or confirmation before I share it. So it gives me time to do due diligence and research before I announce it. So you're going to get firsthand the opportunity to start doing your due diligence and research before I even mention it here on YouTube. So that's something to look forward to. And there's so much other things I will be sharing on the Patreon. So the link is down below. So the ticker symbol is TWTR, Twitter Inc. So this is the second circle. This is the first circle. I talked about it as it was going down. I had stated this might be the bottom. And if it isn't, it's going to pull back more and it's going to be an even bigger opportunity. Well, it did not drop any lower. It started to run up, consolidated, ran up, and just with the volatility of the market, just continued to hit newer highs. I talked about it at the beginning of February, again, because it had ran up so much in just 2 weeks. And here we are. We're seeing it at the $56, $55 mark, dipped a little bit, and it's ran up all the way up to almost $75 and just had a slight pullback, just like the rest of the market. And it's sitting at $71. This is just for you guys to see how important it is to not look at any stock or investment emotionally, okay? And to always be focused on the business model and paying attention if this is temporary. And that saying that everyone knows, buy low, sell high, that's cliche. And it's like, when do you know when it's low? When do you know it's high? Well, we're seeing a great example of a stock that was falling downwards that had already hit $55, $56. All it's done is grow over time. So we saw one of its highs. So anything below that was a low. That's like one great simple way to look at it. Anything below that high was a low. And then that would be the new high. And then look what happened. It broke out to even newer highs, right? So very interesting stuff here. And you wanted to always know what was going on here. Was it fear and uncertainty? Because it certainly wasn't profit taking. There was a lot of stuff going on with Twitter and it was being bashed. And that's completely understandable on everyone's perspective. I've always said that. And I probably even agree with your perspective, okay? That's not something that I wanted to talk about. I'm not here to talk about the conflict or, the controversial topics about this. I'm here to talk about the numbers. I'm here to talk about the opportunity. This was a big opportunity, and I just want every single investor to understand we cannot look at stocks from an emotional perspective. Now, would I recommend still adding this to your watch list? I would really look for a consolidation or a bigger pullback. We need to see what happens because the potential is showing that it could even go beyond this number in the future or years to come. But that's a really slow process. I mean, this grew pretty fast. I don't know how much faster could this grow in the next coming weeks and months. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, we saw how this recovered, from $40 and it hit a new high in that year and then it dipped down. So we already knew the high. So anything below that, like I said, was a low. So it was a great way to understand this one from buy low, sell high, because we were seeing new lows. And if it went even lower, I had stated even bigger opportunity. And if not, we want to look for some consolidation or a catalyst that starts to bring this one up. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.